Jim Malliard here, host of the Malliard Report. Before we begin, I gotta remind you the views and opinions expressed on the show are solely of those of the host and guests. Do not necessarily reflect Evergreen Podcast, Killer Podcast, any sponsors, affiliates, or anybody else. The Malliard Report is recorded live in front of a live virtual audience on the Duck Pond, Tuesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern. Getting ready to light off another show, maybe. There we go. Got that unlit up. Took a minute. A lot of smoke in the studio now. Probably the smoke detector will go off here in a second. Good grief almighty. Woo! Sorry for the hot live intro. How about that? So, for those of you who need to know, it's not the old jingle. It's the new jingle. It's the current jingle. It's probably the jingle for a long time. But, next week I hope that whole thing will be redone again. More jingle, less me. Is that a good teaser for everybody? More jingle, less me. Yeah? Is that good? Okay, so that's good. First and foremost, I hope everybody is doing well this evening. Our friends up in Canada are freezing to death. I've seen negative 38 Celsius. I have no idea what that is, but I know negative 38 Fahrenheit is no fun. So, whatever that is what it is. So, Brian Bowden asked a very important question. We have live calls tonight coming up, but I want to address Brian Bowden's question in the best way I can. Where the hell is GTR? I think it's worth mentioning at this point. He's been absent from the pond for at least a couple weeks now, and he'll be back very soon. He's a very busy man, and he's been a little under the weather, and, he'll be back. That's all that matters. I was talking to him yesterday. Was that yesterday? On Gap. He'll be back. I'm not worried. He'll be back. Like I said, he's a very busy man. Holidays with his family, and, like I said, very busy man. So, yeah, he was under the weather, but he is definitely on the mend for sure. So, yeah. And there's that. So I'm looking forward to seeing him either next week or the week after. So, like I said, there's no hard feelings between us. There's nothing going on. He's just very busy. And, And of course, we will continue to send those prayers and healing as Brian Bowden did in the chat room. Of course, I think that's going around because I talked to a number of former guests over the weekend. German Tom Rod Rose is a former guest. He's probably he's the answer to the trivia question, the only person to have hosted this show who hasn't been a guest on this show. It's actually the only other person to host this show. But I was talking to several other guests who have been were sick over the holidays, and I wanted to follow up with them and make sure they were doing all right. And everybody I seemed to talk to seemed to be positive on the uptake of life, and we're glad to hear from them. So, and I was glad to hear from them as well. So, that's all that settled. So, like I said, we're doing live calls tonight. So, I don't really have a set topic tonight. I have some things in mind, of course, as usual, when I get to this point in the wrap. Started 2022, of course, so there's always that, right? I mean, I know we did our predictions, but there's a lot going on. It's, new year, new mindsets. It's amazing to see the people that lie to themselves every year. So maybe we can talk about that. Who's the biggest liar? The people saying they're going to change their life or change their diet or work out more. It doesn't have to be you. We can just discuss who is the biggest liar. The prophecy. Which one? Because the movie or the I think there's a documentary by that name. You're going to have to help me out here. So, I've been watching all kinds of weird stuff and getting into weird stuff on Twitter. And when I say weird stuff, I'm talking true crime, religious documentaries, the Christopher Walken one, okay. Just all kinds of weird, very niche, very rabbit hole-y kind of stuff, which is good for the show because that's the kind of stuff that I like to talk about. Man, it's been wild. Probably I think in March, maybe we'll do some true crime stuff around here. Get some people on. I have, obviously we can get Jim Fitzgerald back on and some other people, some true crime, maybe not necessarily a true crime traditional sense podcast, but, some of the other stuff. And, yeah, so for those of you who are wondering, yes, you can call, you obviously get calling at 234-738-2552. Your standards, tools, rates, and all that fun stuff apply. You know that. You've used the telephone before. If you're using the internet now, I hope. I know that's horrible. I shouldn't have to say things like that, but life is good like that. So, yeah. So what else is going on in the world? Let's bring up the first thing here. Oh, my wife told me about that earlier, and now it just popped up on my news here, and that was just horrible to see. About the medical helicopter outside of Philadelphia here that crashed and killed a bunch of people. That's just not good. I wish it when that one that popped up. Didn't really want to talk about it, but my thoughts and prayers go out to that family and families, I guess, as multiple victims, and yeah, because that's just horrible. I understand all these news sites are trying to make money, right, and trying to survive, but dang, does every other post have to be an ad, though? Good grief almighty. I don't know. It's just the world we're living in. I don't get it. I mean, it has to be the volume that you're displaying, because obviously people aren't clicking on them, because if they were clicking on them, you wouldn't have to display 1 million of them. Okay, rant over. It's almost like there has to be a better way to do advertising. I mean, like podcasting. What do I know, though? You have a bunch of trusted people listening to your show, you could pitch the product that way, instead of popping up ads on the screen that annoy everybody and nobody pays attention to. Just saying. I know there's a couple people out there, smart people out there, who get it. Yeah. So, there's that rant. So let's go back over here now and try to look for the news that Wow, that's an interesting story here in non-traditional Malliard report farm, but I find this one fascinating because I would have figured it would have been wow. Kyrex, the world's largest condom manufacturer, was expecting double-digit growth during the pandemic, and instead their sales had dropped by 40%. Now, are people... I see that, like I said, that's not normally a normal story around here, but that's an interesting story to me. Green means go, I think, so let's try it. Why did it open
checking to see how you're doing.
Why did it open a second window? But okay, at least I can hear you, so we're just going to leave everything alone. How are you doing tonight?
Open the second window because I'm a big guy. I'm hanging in there. I started off my year on a positive, if you understand what I'm saying, in this day and age. Lasted for about 3 days, but it's still like you're still tired from it. I wanted to apologize. I was just concerned about GTR, so
no, you're
let
fine.
him know that he's missed and he's loved, and I get the whole family thing.
Yeah, I did.
So
that's why I was checking in on him, and he said that he, busy, and then probably like you, probably around the first year, got a little under the weather, and so
under the weather. Actually, it's not bad. I mean, you would if you have children, you've already got the headache sometimes, and then you're exhausted. So it's the same thing, basically. That being said, just take vitamin C, B, D, zinc.
Wait, no. Wait. You're not referring to CBD. You're talking about vitamins there, right?
Right.
You said them in that order, and I just had to make sure we're all...
Actually, CBD is not bad because it will kind of like relax your body so the you don't get the cortisol and you get all inflamed from the stress. But yeah, I take vitamin B12, a complete vitamin D. If you are under the Mason-Dixon line, you're okay, but you should take some supplements. Anything above that, you should be at least 15,000. I use, in my opinion. I take 20. Then you get the vitamin C at 3,000 milligrams. Ideally, it would be 10,000, but you take your pick. And then zinc is 100. And I like to add, and I throw in there something called quercetin. And quercetin's great, and you can use it as much as you want, but a minimum of 500 milligrams and alternate. So, you do it for a week, then you can stop for a week. If you do get something that's going around, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, I don't want to mention names, I would immediately implement a 500 milligram regimen for 10 days, just to cover you, and you're good. Hang in there, Other than that, it's not the best way to get your year off, but I guess get it over with, right?
Well, hopefully, right? Hopefully one and done for that. You were probably calling in when I was reading that story, huh?
Oh, I apologize.
No. You're the perfect...
The helicopter crash?
No. Maybe you're not the perfect person to ask about this. The world's largest condom manufacturer had a surprising bad pandemic. They expected double-digit growth, and I would have bet money they would have. They dropped by 40%. Sales, that is.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's because people just don't care anymore. I mean, what the heck?
So, well, no. Are people not hooking up? Are we expecting a baby boom? I guess is my question. Right?
I'll tell you what. I got a friend that's 50-something years old, and he's divorced, and God bless him, he's hooking up on a regular basis. I just think at this point, if something's going to kill you, you might as well go out with a bang. And I think about it, But I also don't think people are hooking up as much. I think people, especially in certain age groups, are a lot more weary about that. They're really, really putting all their eggs in the basket on the fear, and I think they're staying away from people. They want to hook up, they want to have a relationship, but it's almost like in the 80s when AIDS was big. There was a comedian did a joke like, okay, yeah, I really like you. Can you just put blood on this cell right here so I can just run a test? And you got to be sure. So I guess, is the new pocket thing not a condom but a 15-minute COVID test? Huh?
Yeah, could be.
Think about that. But I'm thankful that I'm not. I mean, I've been through this route. If I wasn't married anymore, I'm not going back into the scene. I'm just like, I'm good. I'll get a dog. We'll be fine. I just no. I don't want any. I got enough problems. So they lost money.
Well, I'm assuming they did because they didn't meet their marks. So I didn't read too much into it, but if their sales drop 40%, eventually that's gonna catch them.
You could have done a little bit more of a proactive kind of like kind of advertisement, fun advertisement, like, hey, if you run out of rubber gloves and you stick one on your hand, it can act as a rubber glove, kind of thing like that. But I don't know. I mean, I don't think we're gonna have a big baby boom. I really don't.
Well, I mean, that's like I said, with sales dropping 40%, that's got to be a question worth asking, though.
But is it dropping because people just don't care and they're like making babies, or are they dropping because no one's having relations? And I would say, given the economy the way it is, I don't think people are having the relations anymore.
Well, I was gonna say, I think we're far enough into this at this point that we'd be starting to see the start of that boom if we were going to see it.
Well, it's really that's another subject, and it's really weird. Some of these kids are being born with black eyes. I don't know if you've been checking that out. Really disturbing. Like solid black eyes. There's nothing. It's just, it looks like something out of the black-eyed kid.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've heard these stories about things before, but
yeah, no, it's unnerving, and these babies, there's something wrong about it. It's a gut feeling, and something's not right. But I think it's more people just, losing their job, getting sick, be it from bad reactions to medicines or, or getting whatever, the crud. I've known so many people on a daily basis. All I keep saying every day on the Facebook, you go on there to post something or whatever, it's I'm so sorry for your loss, or my deepest condolences. It's so much of that. It's really depressing.
So I've got another fun story for you. Happened across the
Yes,
river.
sir.
Happened across the river from you. Of course, it involves
Yes,
a former Pittsburgh guy, so I have to mention it. Antonio
Sure.
Brown. Antonio Brown removing his jersey and pads before waving bye during the Buccaneers Jets game. This guy's finally done, right?
Depends, doesn't it? Wasn't Gronk done, and now doesn't he? They're making the New England Patriots in Tampa Bay.
Well, isn't that how things go though? All you Northerners move to Florida and have a second career.
I'm planning on that move too. I don't know. My second career is maybe snake wrangler, or lizard killer, or whatever the heck they do. Watched a lot of videos on YouTube. They're great. You can make a lot of money killing snakes.
Well, there's a lot of snakes down there, so.
Yeah, there is. I was just watching the governor's State of the State speech, which was actually fantastic. Yes, Tampa Bay, Levi. I'm not going to Tampa Bay, but I'm going to be on the East Coast, closer to the tsunami.
Yeah, as to say, he wants to catch some more hurricanes.
Yes. Well, it's one of my good friends. He's from my neighborhood in New York City. He's been down there for years. He's a real estate agent. So I said to him, Elliot, seriously, what's it like during the hurricane? To go through it. He goes, well, I don't know. You tell me. You've had the last 7, and he's right. We've had the last 7 major hurricanes. So they had one in the last 10 years that was on the borderline bad. It is what it is. I have 2 stories, so I'll be upstairs, moving all my crap upstairs at that point. But as my wife said, I'm done with this now. I'm done with the cult. I'm done with all of it. What we have going on in this state. Forget Antonio Brown. I just I think the Jets are a hopeless cause. The Giants are pathetic. Talk about a franchise ruined. Wow. It's crazy. You guys are looking. I mean, you got a strange owner now of the Pittsburgh Penguins, don't you?
Yes, we do.
It just doesn't seem like he should be an owner of that. But
well, I mean, the Manchester United and the Red Sox. I mean, if you had to pick a hockey team, I guess I'm glad it's the Penguins.
Yeah, no, I'm talking. Well, who's the rap guy, or who is? Oh, geez. You get some really, yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's part of that group. I mean, take what money's everywhere, right?
Manchester United. Do you want to talk about all the football players dropping dead from heart attacks? No? Okay. I won't go there.
They're soccer
I'll
players.
leave those alone. Yes. Well, you said Manchester United.
I've been corrected. It's Liverpool.
Our UK and non-American based individuals, because they do watch American football over there, but it is soccer. Well, it's football too, but it's different types.
Well, I can't throw it right enough. I mean, kick. What I mean. The pronunciation leaves me. So
he's got to bend it like Beckham.
I don't have enough pronunciation. Yeah. Enough depth.
No, but I did. I don't know. Have you ever seen one of these Major League Soccer teams play?
Actually, no.
I saw the Red Bulls. I
haven't seen them in person.
Years ago.
But I was talking to Captain Canada a few days ago about. Listen to this. Major League Lacrosse.
You gotta go.
No.
Major League Lacrosse.
Yes.
Lacrosse is huge. Yeah.
Indoors on the hockey rink with the turf, I guess it is. Man,
right.
That was more fun than hockey.
Yeah, it's kind of like hockey without the ice and the real major speed. Um, and basically, hooking and all the things you can't do in hockey, you can kind of do in lacrosse.
Yeah, I was gonna
Which
say
is
it's
pretty
like
cool.
late
Yeah,
late '80s hockey fighting.
yeah.
There was a fight in the game that I watched, so I was just like, holy.
I just watched Slapshot, so I know exactly what you're talking about, late '70s, early '80s. Great. We'll put on the foil, coach.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. I went to one because one of my friends did a business networking thing. He does stuff. He used to do stuff with tickets, and we went to see the Red Bulls was part of it. The audience was primarily. This is what blew me away. It was probably 80 to 90% female, and it was absolutely awesome to watch. Every seat was good. It was exciting. There was so much positive energy there, and I highly recommend it. I really, I never thought it'd be like it's soccer. It's kind of like, you watch for, 3 hours and it's 0-0 and someone makes a mistake and then someone scores or whatever. But this was actually very, very exciting. It was really, really nice and refreshing as far as a major league sport was concerned. I was surprised. But it's definitely a lot of females are involved. A lot of girls, young girls, older women, middle. It's good to see. It's crazy. All you single guys, if you're not at one of those things, you're an idiot. If they start playing again, go. But remember, buy some of those condoms to support the condom companies. Though.
As I say, don't forget to stock up on
Yep.
the way out.
You should. I mean, why not? You're stocking up on rubber gloves. Might as well just,
Oh wait,
cover all your bases.
I popped something else up that we haven't talked about on live calls. That Betty White died and Bob Saget died. Is there anyone funny left?
Yeah, there's Dave Chappelle's there, and that's all that matters. He's really, really funny. But I mean, it's sad because you get so close to 100. That's like, I guess, for the benchmark. Once you hit the 90s, it's like you got to take every day like it's your last day. And it would have been nice to see her get to 100 because she was funny and interesting.
I think all those magazine producers would have liked her to get to 100 too, because they put a bunch of things out living at 100 and all this other stuff.
Yeah, those are the same people that printed up all the next president Hillary Clinton, documentaries and blah blah blah. Like, look, fellas, don't hold, don't count your chickens until they hatch. But it doesn't really affect me, entertainment wise. I mean, she was funny, but she wasn't. I remember an original series, so that's how old I am. And it's interesting, but it doesn't. I God bless you, sir.
Oh.
I think you're going to see a lot more of this, and that's the sad part.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, all our people are aging. Like our people, that are important to us.
It's not just that. I'm going to say this. I wanted to know when Saget got his booster. Because I got to be honest.
Oh, my. Let's call him back. That wasn't me. How am I calling him and he's... That was weird. I was calling you and you were calling me.
I am not mentioning that word again because I think it got cut off.
Wow. Like I said, I was just sitting here laughing, trying to call you back. Like, I didn't even say anything. Like, that was just ridiculous.
That doesn't normally happen for me, and I'm like, okay, what the heck is going on? But,
tips my hat to the people listening at somewhere.
NSA, or some of these, who are these, what's his name, the two anons that are listening?
Yeah.
Probably one's from the NSA, one's from the CIA, or
yeah, I was gonna say they're anons, all right. They're from the alphabet
God
soup.
bless America. Hey, let's go, Joe. It's very interesting. There is a correlation, and it just gets you unnerved. The guy wasn't that old. He seemed to be fair. Something very interesting when you're in the entertainment field and you're semi-successful. you seem to be a bit more relaxed, and when you don't have that stress or strain or whatever it is, it seems to make you not age as much and make you not get as sick because you don't have all the worries and what have you. Not to say that Saget didn't have worries, but it's just odd. I think we're going to see this. You're going to see people dropping left and right. There was a Disney star that just died. I mean, we're not a comedian, but she was like, I think she was like 19 years old. Some Disney star, which is, it's every day. I mean, yeah, people die every day. Not at people, you know. I'm just saying you're going to, you know, I have a strong feeling, and he's my hero, Paul McCartney. I think he's not going to make it this year. And I'll cry like a baby, and I'm more of enough of a man to say that man has given this world so much great stuff. And Kat, watch your booster tomorrow. Be careful. I think
meanwhile, I need glasses because I read I'm getting my rooster tomorrow. So
oh, your rooster. Cock-a-doodle-doo. That's what we're gonna call it from now on. We're gonna have to use code words so our QAnon don't get upset when we talk about.
Put my glasses on so I can read. Of course, they're so dirty and oh, good God. Anyways,
did you get your rooster yet? Yeah, no, it's insane. I'm just
next week when everybody signs onto the pond and the Fontsberger, they'll know exactly why, right?
Exactly. Oh, Gibbs' arms are getting too short. I'll tell you, I'm still sticking to what I told you before. I'm trying to be more creative. I was supposed to have 2 guests on already. And I'm going to throw you another one when I start up. I'm doing a lot more live streaming, but I'm going to combine. I got this great little thing I can hook up where I could take live calls. The scary part about that is I don't know who's going to be calling. I mean, for the most part, your listeners will call, but I think your listeners are real, you know, genuine people and a good group. I mean, with me, I could get some fun stuff going there, which if you give me a couple of minutes, I'll totally, you know.
Well, here's the best advice I can give you with that fun stuff. Just keep asking them questions.
Oh yeah, no.
Because that's how you. I mean, because everybody has this hot take, right? But once you get past the hot take and you start having to make them defend it, that's where it gets fun.
Yeah, it's you know, I'm gonna try to do some different things because I've been trying to hook up and do with my partner when I do Inside the Goblin Universe, Ron, but I can't get in touch with him. He's in Western PA, like someplace near you or whatever, and it becomes like it's the Twilight Zone out there, you know.
Yeah, I'm telling you think I'm hard to.
Yeah, that is just it's a really strange. Western PA is a very, very strange place. Extremely strange. But you know, I'm trying to hook up with him, but we keep crossing paths. But I definitely do something different for my own solo thing, and I just want to change it up. I mean, I love the paranormal. I investigate the paranormal. I don't want to get too political with people because it's just everybody has entitled to their own opinion, and I'm not here to sway you. I'm just don't need people upset. But I want to get some artists on, some musicians, interesting stuff. And
doesn't that sound familiar?
Yeah, well, you've been doing a great job. I mean, you're getting a plethora of really interesting guests. Really great. Last week was just fantastic. Just for the record, folks, so go check out the archives. And it's just very, very interesting. It's not I love the fact that you've probably gotten guests on within an hour of contacting them. Like, look, I need a guest right now. You want to come on? And it's great. They're very interesting. They have a lot to say. A lot of these people are very helpful for people right now in this current state. So I give you kudos. I mean, I think you have a great show.
The checks in the mail. You don't have to say all that fun stuff.
No, checks in the mail. That's actually the check will be in the mail. Estimated taxes, folks. People are coming up this weekend, just in case. Government's got to get their cut. Whatever your kids and your wife doesn't take.
Yeah, I was gonna say. By the time it gets to me, I'm sure you've seen the Married with Children intro. By the time,
yeah, that's right. Once Peg takes it, it's all over. I mean, I'm trying to put myself in a position where it gives me some kind of normalcy again. Just kind of hard in this day and age. That's why we're going to be moving south. And one of the things I want to do is, I can't, I just wouldn't be going to. I don't have one of those, passes or vaccine passes. Show me your papers, and I refuse to take part in that. I don't need to go to any business that's going to be not smart enough to say, you know what, we did the segregation thing, and it didn't work out very well. Let's not do that. There's no reason for it, in my opinion. So I'm going to go to a place where, I can take my child to a baseball game or a hockey game. Not big on basketball, so that's not going to happen. But, yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to do some positive stuff. Paint, graffiti, rap video, whatever. But I just figured I'd call in and just, do a sorbet for everybody.
Yeah,
that's all right with you.
You're always welcome.
Cool.
On, you know that.
I do appreciate it, and I hope you and the family are well. But I'm gonna jet so you can get back to getting more people on there. Like Levi should call, or W should call.
Levi's from Australia. I don't know if he knows how to the international thing.
I'm gonna let you know a little secret there, Jim. For free, you can get an alternative number for your phone, for your Skype. Or whatever, if you're using Skype, that will be an Australian-based number, so Levi can make a local call to call.
No, we'll have to talk about that.
How about that? And it's free. You just got to go in there and say, okay, I want a UK number, I want a Canada number, and it's all the same number basically. It just makes it easier for them to call in without, having to get the international operator on the line.
Yeah, I was going to say smoke signal.
Yeah.
We'll elect the Pope instead. Oh wait, never mind.
Yeah.
That is something. I don't know when that's coming. I know that that's a little close to home for you, but the Vatican conspiracies. I have been digging into that. That is coming. I don't know exactly when. I haven't figured out exactly who I'm talking to about that either. But
yeah, I really started when you said that. I was just like, you may not want to go down this path. This is.
I was expecting my whole computer to shut off right there when I said that, by the way.
Yeah, this is a really dangerous Pandora's box. But if you want someone to give their 2 cents, I'll chime in on that one too. I'd love to hear GTR's take on that. That would be interesting, different perspectives.
Yeah, I was going to say, like I said, I've been kind of digging into that. And there's some interesting stuff over there. But.
Yes. I kind of lean towards what Nostradamus said about the last 2 popes. And just look it up, folks. I'm not going to say it. I kind of lean that direction. But I don't have any red shoes either. But
there's
I'm going to go, yeah.
There's enough teaser for somebody. Figure that one out.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. Look up the red shoes. But you have a great night. I'm going to go back into the duck pond and swim. And
thanks, sir.
I'll leave this open for everybody. You have a good one, brother.
You too.
Bye.
Yeah, it'll be a couple weeks before I can get into that. I'm just pulled up my calendar. But we're going to get there. I promise you, because I'm interested. There's a few things that I'm really interested in that we're going to get into in the next several months. Plus all the other stuff that I'm interested in. I know, it's ridiculous, right? All this rigmarole, and I don't like getting into the future guests because, well, man, sometimes you get on a roll where everything comes in great and everything works out fine, and then sometimes you get into these places where, like tonight, where I had a guest that I had to record with, and his window and my window never lined up, and we tried for a week. So, but I'll get him on. I feel comfortable about that, but it just wasn't working. We'll get there. I tried some other people today. It just didn't work, so we do live calls. It's just the nature of the beast, and it's great. And I love getting a hold of Brian and Kat and all these other fun people. Some of these people who aren't calling. It's good to see their names, and it's good to see everybody, and it's also good to see the Anons still listening and participating in the show as well. So, all good. Even though they're not chatting or not even signing into the chat room, we know they're there tonight. Makes me happy. Yeah, so there's all that. Let's see. What else? What else is going on? Another thing that drives me nuts about news sites, now that I can say this right, I don't like sponsored posts on them. Cheapens your content. Just saying. Either have the news that you want to have, or don't. I don't know. What do I know? Not much, apparently. What in the hell happened there? Okay, anyways. No, Cat. Not saying that. The James Webb Telescope. Yes, Levi, you brought that up a few minutes ago, and I failed to mention that's Brian Bowden, but I'm interested to see what we get back. I have a feeling that we're going to be wowed and then quickly disappointed by the James Webb Telescope. Somebody timestamp that, because I just have this feeling that it'll get hit by something, or, you know. Yes, it is the biggest space news in quite a while, and I actually look forward to talking to Germantown Runner about that when he gets back around here. He'll be the one who has all the fun and all the... Maybe I'll actually... We might need to actually get him on as a guest for that. Man. I don't know if I can't believe I just muttered those words. Get Germantown Runner on the show as a guest. I'm sure he'd do it, though. He does love to talk, and I do love to talk to him. It's just one of those things that I've been avoiding that for a while, because we get to talking, and we get to talking about a lot of things that aren't necessarily what we need to be talking about. So he's a good friend of the show, good friend of mine, good person, all the above. So yeah. Okay. Doo-doo-doo. Mark Wahlberg launches a tequila, plans to make it number one. Okay. What is the number one tequila in the world? Anybody? Like, I don't know. Okay. Yeah, say the word. No, I'm not saying the word. I think we've... Yes, Brian Bowden, that's what I'm talking about. Like I said, there is a bunch of interesting things going on over there. That's one of them. Like, yeah, man. Yeah, Cat's a rum girl. And I need to buy some, I don't know. I haven't had anything in quite a while, so we'll be good there, though. Yeah, so what else was I reading? Like I said, these news sites are just horrible to read for this kind of thing. Oh, this is a good one. I have to bring it up, though, because I need more information. Turkmenistan's president wants to close the Vers gas crater. He wants to close what is affectionately known, well, reportedly known as the Gates of Hell. Holy smokes. That's pretty, it's just an awesome crater there, full of fire. What an awesome sight. Looks like a great tourist attraction. No, I'm kidding. I can't imagine that's good for the environment, let alone whatever they get going on around there. So, probably be a good idea to close that or do something with it. I don't know what you know, that sounds dangerous. Try to put that out too. So I don't know. Don't ask my opinion. And somehow now I'm on the travel part of this website. So okay. Big Ben rang for New Year's in London, by the way. For those of you who might be interested. What was that all about? Okay. Whatever that was is... Uh-oh. Just moved the camera, too, for those watching. Sorry about that. Doo-doo-doo. What happened to Odd News? Does anybody write about Odd News anymore? Because seriously, I haven't found any good... Oh, here we go. No, that's why. They call it Oddities now. Is that fire still burning under Centralia? I believe so. I believe so. I'm not sure, though. I've never been. I've wanted to go, but it's like 5 hours away. For those of you who are playing along at home, the creators of Grand Theft Auto have bought Farmville, so I have no idea what that means, but it means something, I'm sure. Not sure what, though. Okay, here we go. More pop-ups. Just what the world needs, more pop-ups. Cat that perches on horses and donkeys reunited with family. Live deer and... What? Okay, we're going to have to bring that one up to... I guess we got to bring that one up too. We're getting some stories here. We'll get that one too. Okay. And one more here. Yes, I do enjoy these stories, but I don't want to get them in my mail. So, oh yeah, I did know about this, that the Ohio issued some bad license plates with the Wright brothers. That was pretty funny. Because, yeah. Okay. Live deer. Here we go. Newberry, Pennsylvania. Of course, Pennsylvania. Police pulled over a drunken suspect, or a drugged driver in Pennsylvania, to discover he had a live deer that had been apparently hit by them and put in the back of the car. The 19-year-old driver, so that's always good, had a live deer in the back of his car. Now, I'm not too sure for that, but a live deer in the back of your car. Now, having dealt with deer, now of course, right? That thing had, if it was hurt, it was going to be angry, right? Man, I wish there was video of that guy putting that deer in the back of that car. There has to. I wish there was. Man, that is messed up. Okay, so story for Kim, because I seen her in the chat room earlier. Repairs complete on the famous Key West buoy after fire damage. I didn't know it was damaged, so who knew? Looks like some Florida people and somebody from Texas tried to light it on fire. Imagine that. Okay. Another story here. Yet again, another Pennsylvania story. I'm doing good tonight. Ooh. Now this one's got my attention because it's from northwestern Pennsylvania, so it must be near me. northeast of Pittsburgh. I gotta look that place up because that can't be that far from me. Oh, it's up by... Oh, good grief. It's closer to New York City, I'm sure. It's up there where the elk are. That's disappointing. But apparently there's Civil War gold there. And these people are suing the FBI for records. Yeah, so there you go. There's a little news update by your horrible news reporter. No, I just find some of that stuff fascinating. I don't really look at the news that often, so it gives me an opportunity to catch up on what in the world's going on and what in the world's really going on. And so there you go. There's how I read the news right there. Which is scary, because the first thing I did was jump to the weird news and found some Pennsylvania stories that I didn't know were Pennsylvania stories. Yeah. So there's all that. Oh, we've got deer in Pennsylvania. More than one. There's probably one within a stone's throw of me right now. Man, maybe a little bit further. Maybe not. Never know. Depends on how good the arm is. Who am I kidding? It's probably a little bit further than that. Or it depends on how big the stone is. Interesting. Not really. So, got about 10 minutes left. So, yeah, so whatever you guys want to talk about on the pond, or if you want to call in, 234-738-2552. Yeah, whatever. I don't know, man. I just feel there's a lot going on. I also have this weird one here. 10 minutes. Just answer that question. Like, get with the times. That's the delay between the chat room and the live show. About 40 seconds. Somebody timed it out once. I don't know what it is. I can't really be bothered by it because it's just how it goes. And here's one. Brian Bowden, Cat Ward, Everett, Kim, bunch of podcasters on the pond tonight. Bunch of podcasters listen to this show, but don't admit it. I know. They send me messages afterwards. I've got one for you here. You ready for this? Okay. Buckle up. This is going to get wild. There are 2 million podcasts now, according to Apple, right? We all know this. Took a long time to get the first million, and then a really short time to get the second million because of COVID. And people pursuing money. Because, people think that there's money in podcasting for whatever reason that is. There's not money like there was in YouTube back in the day. Okay, so said all that, right? The next million, to put it to 3 million, is going to come pretty quick too. And here's why. Because all these apps are gamed for new shows. New shows discovery. New and noteworthy on Apple, right? So a lot of podcast feeds are being generated just for the new stuff. If you pay attention to podcast marketing, have a top 100 show in the first 8 weeks, right? That's all everybody's interested in, that first 8 weeks. And then once that expires, a lot of people are generating a new feed because they want that buzz again. Mark it down. I'm telling you. I'm not saying it's what you should do if you're a podcaster. I'm going to stay here and tell you that's the exact opposite of what you should do. Because you're just screwing with listeners at that point. Right? Think about it. Well, of course, unless you're just trying to make a quick buck and not build a community and be a fraud. Just saying. For the record. Some of you are. Let me look actually right in the camera right there. Some of you podcasters out there are just plain and simple frauds. And I feel better. Some of you aren't. And most of you who are listening to this show aren't, because you get it. You understand building community, that's why you're here. Before any of you get offended. But some of you aren't. You need to take a look. Pull back. Think about it for a minute. See what the future holds for you. If you don't want to do this for years, then don't do it. Just saying. Hard words. Hard words tonight. Okay. What else? What else? What else? Somebody else get me off this topic before I start literally destroying people. No? Nothing? I'm just kidding. Here's a fun one. Here's a fun one. Video casting is the future of podcasting. Brian Bowden, you are right and wrong. Audio will always be part of what we do. Radio, right? People love the sound, the passive sound they can do while they're working out, driving, mowing, all that other stuff. Video, done well, will find a mark. But I don't do video well. I barely do video. That's okay. But I think there is going to be a time and a place for well done podcast video shows. It's coming. It's like documentary, right? Somebody out there will do it well. Cat Ward, thank you for popping in, and glad you got your stuff taken care of. So we'll see you next week. Yeah, I like the new site too. Got a little work to do still, but I haven't had time to do it. It is what it is. Yeah, take care of each other and stay warm or stay cool. Depends on where you're at, right? Because I'm seeing Levi post a positive 37 Celsius and Cat mentioning negative 37 Celsius. Big range right there of people looking there. Yeah, I haven't done anything with the video page. That's part of the over dramatic stuff I need to work on. You know, so much time. Actually, it's just so much energy. Not even time anymore. It's just energy. But that's a whole other discussion for another day. Where was I going? Oh, so I was talking about, because I've been thinking about a lot about this, right? Where does this all lead? What happens, right? As everybody gets into the video, the podcasting game, right? And there's just this blurf of content. Where does this go? I think where this goes and why your networks are pushing hard to get into the digital space right now, right? I mean, Disney and Hulu, and right, they know there's a wide breadth of free content out there. And they're worried because the more time you spend on YouTube, right, the less time you spend on Hulu or Netflix or Disney. The more time you spend listening to, well, I guess you can listen to podcasts on Spotify, right? But the more podcasts you listen to, the less music you're listening to, right? Think about it. Now, I heard an interesting point the other day. I was listening to a podcast, and I can't remember which one it was. Shame on me. I thought about it, and I never figured out how to do it. So, there's that, Brian. So, take that for what it's worth. If you're not on the pond, you don't have a clue what I'm talking about. So, there's that, too. As all this develops, right? I was listening to a podcast the other day, and he was talking about listening to more podcasts and becoming more passive and absorbing more information than just listening to the same song for 700 times. Actually, I think I do know which podcast it is, but I'm not exactly sure, so I don't want to give credit where credit isn't due. I think I do, though. Makes me mad that I don't remember for sure. But you start consuming things, and as I look at my playlist of things that I'm consuming, right? Yeah, it's just passive knowledge that I'm trying to consume. Right? So there's all that. I think it's important. And there's a lot of great podcasts out there. So as we move the meter away from, as some people move the meter away from just rewatching things for the 50,000th time or listening to things the 50,000th time, we're about ready to hit this age where people will have a lot of things in their mind, and we're gonna see some great things coming, I believe. What do I know, though? I could be deadly wrong, but I think there's a lot of great thinking going on right now. I hope. I could be wrong. I mean, people are falling down all kinds of rabbit holes right now. Or is that just me? Just me? Okay. I kind of figured it was just me. Sorry. Mid-headphone adjustment there. Can't talk and itch my ear at the same time, apparently. Or doesn't want to. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, man. 2022. I'm really looking forward to it. 11 years. Man. Is it on the pond or in the pond? I've often wondered that, because I kind of used them interchangeably, and somebody out there knows the answer to that, because there's not really a pond, so you'd be, I don't know, things that keep me up at night. Not really. I don't stay up thinking about on the pond or in the pond. I don't. I should. No, I don't. I don't really worry about it, though. Got more important things to worry about. Like, yeah, I don't know. Like, it's just a good time. Okay, so we got 2 minutes left. So what I'm going to do here is remind everybody that if you haven't signed up for the newsletter, bottom right-ish on the website, go over and sign up for the newsletter. You're going to want to be on board with that, because new updates are coming there first. They're coming fast. I say that I haven't emailed in quite a while, but the updates are going there first about things that you need to know. And if you haven't subscribed, you need to. If you haven't left a review, you need to. If you haven't sent directly to a friend, maybe not this show. I mean, there's a lot of great shows out there, a lot of great topics we've talked about. Brian mentioned the show last week with Jesse. You can send that one. That's a great one for some people that aren't necessarily connected to podcasting, can dive into, and I think they'll get something from. A lot of great shows hanging around. And if they're into the paranormal, the current show at the top of the site is Bill Hauser. We talked about the Ghost Box and all sorts of paranormal things for an hour, so there's that too. So there's a lot of great topics and great shows that are floating around that you can send them directly. And we do appreciate the retweets and the shares and the likes and all that other stuff, but as you know, when somebody takes the time to send something to you with a little comment, it makes it go a long way. So, yeah. Looking forward to all that. Excited about everything we got going. Yeah. So there's all of that. And then I remembered that my outro is not a minute long. It's a little bit shorter than that. Making these new shows, actually this short period of time, have been the longest report you're going to get, because like I said, we're going to remix the intro and make it a little bit longer. So yeah, tonight's show might be one of the longest ones you ever get. How about that? The show's always been an hour, but the outro music and intro music have been longer before. Now we're going to shorten it up, and now we're going to make it just a little bit longer. So, yeah, sorry about that. So I hope you enjoyed possibly the longest airtime Malliard report.
It's the Malliard Report. Yeah, the Malliard Report.
Hey, I want to thank you for joining us. It's been a good show tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. Take a few moments, subscribe, share, all the fun stuff. You know how to do it. I don't have to tell you. Just be ready for next week. It'll be sooner than you think.